He's proven me wrong before. Nick Nutter, of course, has to be the fresher of the two, despite the fact that he flew over here on the same day that he fought. Nutter, of course, the wrestler, and you know his M.O. You're going to try and take his man down.
Nick Nutter quickly closing the distance and throwing Vovchanchyn to the ground and punishing Vovchanchyn. Vovchanchyn just has to be totally exhausted, even though he had a few minutes to rest. It's just not enough.
Did you just see what he did? He headbutted. He's got a huge gash over his eye, and yet he headbutts Nick Nutter.
And he's throwing some short, choppy punches underneath there. Nutter's still got to be careful. This guy has a lot of power. We'll see how much he has left after that nice move by Nutter, moving the leg and the knee up to the face of Vovchanchyn.
Yeah, that was a nice takedown by Nick Nutter.
Yeah, you can see how quickly these American freestyle wrestlers just close the distance, move in on their opponent, and then, well, he's not really punching him hard. He's really thinking about what he's doing now. He's putting some weight on his face now trying to strike with the left. Vovchanchyn reacting, nothing really getting in at that point. Vovchanchyn will keep Nutter in the half guard here, try to control the fight.
Okay, here we go. Both men, early stages of the final.
It'll be really interesting to see how much Nick Nutter even has left. He had a tough fight with Joe Charles. Not an easy fight at all. Did have some time to rest, but as we all know, after we play any sporting event, after even a 30-minute or a 45-minute or even hour break, to go out and play, imagine playing 4 quarters of a football game and then saying, all right, now it's time for the Super Bowl. It's
unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe that he's out here. I am stunned. I'm amazed. And I have newfound respect. Although I had a great deal of respect for the man, I have newfound respect for him.
Yeah, hopefully he just won't get too hurt tonight. Beautiful left knee to the face by Nutter to Vovchanchyn. These wrestlers have really begun to use their knees very effectively. You'll see that a lot with some other fighters from America.
Yes. Mark Kerr comes to mind. Very effective with use with the knees.
Very good.
Yeah. You know, I'm impressed what wrestlers have been able to do. Oh, nice left hand there.
It was like Vovchanchyn was pulling Nutter's head down to his fist. He couldn't move the hand, so he was pulling the head down to the fist. Vovchanchyn just digging into his bag of tricks each fight to come out victorious. Looks like he's in a little trouble here, though.
Oh, he's got the arm pin with the leg, and he threw a short left hand. Nick Nutter did. Great job trapping that arm with the leg. He tries it again right there, which just frees him up to hit the face, an open face.
Very nice move by Nutter, controlling his opponent. This is the wrestler's technique right here. Control your opponent, knee, punch, elbow, headbutt, everything in tight and on the ground.
But it's another good knee right there.
Yeah, Vovchanchyn starting to take some punishment from Nutter.
All right, they continue to battle along the fence.
Vovchanchyn just trying to hold the head of Nutter, trying not to give him any punching room. I don't know what his plan is, but he's got to dig deep here. He is so tired. You can see that cut opening right back up over the left, and I believe there's one over the right eye as well of Vovchanchyn. Nutter rubbing his forehead into that face. He'll try and just rub his hand and his forehead into the face. It's not bleeding too much thus far.
What I have been able to get from Vovchanchyn, yeah, wonderful. What I've seen from him, though, so many times now, just when you think he's about ready to really get overwhelmed, he shows incredible quickness and able to break a hold. We'll see if he can do it here against Nutter, as Nutter continues to throw that left knee into the face area of Igor Vovchanchyn. That's a vicious knee.
3, 4, 5.
I'm encouraged we can both count. Look at that. Another one. All unanswered.
They're taking a look at Vovchanchyn. This could be it.
They're stopping him.
It could be over. No, now they're letting him go.
The referee stood in there.
I think he was taking a close look, which he should have done. We didn't even know if Vovchanchyn was conscious at that point. Beautiful knees to the face. He took like 8-10 shots solid. Now a nice elbow to the face by Vovchanchin.
And a nosebleed now by Nick Nutter. I don't know if the nose is broken, but the nose is bleeding. Oh, and another knee, and another one.
Vovchanchin just taking a tremendous beating from the ground by Nick Nutter. The referee taking a close look at Vovchanchin to make sure he's still awake, and he's here with us.
Yeah, he's definitely awake.
The Americans trying to get and help their fellow countryman, Nick Nutter here.
Boy, everybody's posturing outside the ring, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. The Russian team is getting close. So are the Americans.
Officials are trying to get them away from there. They're getting a better view than we are.
Yeah, hopefully everybody will control themselves outside of the ring.
Oh, boy, another left with that knee.
Yeah, he continues to throw those knees. I don't know what's keeping Vovchanchin lying there conscious.
Yeah.
And it's really not like he can turn his head. You can see Nick Nutter keeping the elbow on the face of Vovchanchin, so he really can't do too much. He can't really move that head out of the way. Nutter very comfortable where he's at. He likes this position. He's controlling his opponent, and he can strike very powerfully from here.
There's a shot of Zane Frazier on our monitor.
Trying to help out the fellow American. And the American continues to dominate this match.
I'll tell you, I don't know how he survived that onslaught of all those knees, but he did. And I'm talking about Igor Vovchanchin. Man, what a tough, tough person. As he comes back now.
Yeah, starting to make some nice punches of his own. Now trying to slip out of it. Able to slip up on the fence. This is what he looks for. He looks for an opportunity. I don't know if he can do it against this animal, though. What's so amazing, too, about Igor Vovchanchin is he is such a gentleman. One of the nicest men I've ever met. Very calm, very unassuming, very cool, very friendly to all the fighters. And then to see this type of display in the ring, it's just truly phenomenal.
Nutter working over the ribs with short right hands, and back comes Vovchanchin with some heavy, heavy blows to the back of the head of Nutter.
Yeah, Vovchanchin's starting to come alive a little bit here with some punches of his own. They're not just being unanswered like they were early on in the fight. He's starting to throw some punches of his own.
Where has he gotten the energy, Greg Friedman?
He's just getting his 15th wind, I think.
Man.
It's unbelievable. Trying to hold Nutter now. He'll try and slip up and get back on his feet. He wants to sit up. This is a better position for him. He's not susceptible to those knees.
A crowd coming alive again.
Look at the face of Igor Vovchanchin. It's like the blood is already poured out of his face, that there's no more blood. He is so drained from every bit of his body that I don't think there's any blood. But look at the knots on his face. But just will not give up.
Man, this is just a brutal war. Then, you know, it's interesting, right behind him, Alexei Semenov, the man that he's got a cast on his left hand. He did break that hand, you're right, or wrist. But he's there cheering on and trying to help his fellow Russian after he just did battle with him for 35 minutes. There's a little national pride involved here, Greg.
Oh, yeah, this has really become a competition not only amongst individuals but of countries. As we said earlier, the Brazilians dominated, then it's been the Americans. The Russians are really making a very strong statement that they have the toughest fighters in the world today. Japan also had some very tough fighters. They kind of have been pushed aside, not having the big, strong guys. As far as skill level, though, they're right up there. The tour will continue to Japan, and then back to Russia and to the Netherlands. And then, of course, the hometown of No Holds Barred, Brazil.
The whole nation, huh? The whole nation has taken a love to that. A Brazilian No Holds Barred fighter is a superstar in that nation. You know, and I both walked the streets down there, and the Americans that go down there are very popular down there. I'm amazed at the recognition down there. If you saw Nick Nutter walk down the street in Los Angeles, people would say, oh, there's a big guy. He walks down the street in Brazil, hey, that's Nick Nutter.
Yep, no, they really do know their fighters. It's kind of like us with our basketball or our football. Jiu-jitsu is really their sport. They've got also some great kickboxers, but jiu-jitsu is the fame that comes out of Brazil.
Now I'm wondering how Nick Nutter, you know, he's got to be getting tired also. I mean, it hasn't been a cakewalk for him, from the plane trip to the illness to a tough match with Joe Charles. But Semina, I mean, Igor Vovchankin, man, he's been he's been through a couple of wars already, and he's involved in another one.
He's trying to headbutt from his back. The guy is really, really something.
Yeah, I just don't know where he has found that energy.
Yeah, and I don't know how much longer he can stay in there. I really don't. Nutter's got to be getting frustrated himself. He's really dished out everything that he can do. He's punched, kicked, kneed. He's done everything that he could against this guy, controlled him in that corner pretty much the whole fight, and it's starting to show. He's not as aggressive as he was earlier. Now he's throwing some right hands. Vovchankin up and over, finding a way to punch over the side of the head of his opponent onto the ear.
Oh, great headbutt from down below, and you're right, how does he do it? I thought he was tapping, he was punching.
Yeah, he's always punching, this guy. He just somehow finds a new way to do something, and his hands are like stone.
Oh, man.
If you take a look at him, he's got these huge rock hands that he just hits walls with them. They say he trains and punches the walls. His fist, they call him the fist of stone, or the fist of steel, excuse me.
Yeah, I think Roberto Duran was the hands of stone.
Yep. Fist of steel, Igor Vovchankin.
He also has a jaw of steel, ladies and gentlemen, after taking some headbutts. And you look at the bridge of his nose, Greg, and it's very swollen. Obviously, he's taking a battering there too, but he's still alive, and there he takes another headbutt.
Yeah, I really don't know how much longer he can take all this. I really don't. Nick Nutter, a superb athlete, expected to go to the Olympics as a freestyle wrestler, very well trained.
Boy, this crowd chanting, Igor, Igor. I mean, a very pro Igor crowd here.
And they got to be impressed by what he's done here. I mean, the guy just came through an unbelievable war and is right back in there, giving it all he's got and taking such a beating. Sometimes you kind of got to wonder, is this healthy, or is it, obviously it's not healthy, is this smart for him to continue on like this, possibly suffering some long-term damage?
That's his previous opponent, looking on, trying to help his buddy out. You know they had very little time to get their breath. He didn't even take a shower. He got stitched up and came out to watch this fight. So no rest for the weary, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Vovchankin's face is just swelling up with every blow, and he still continues to hit with it, and he's actually hitting with like his cheek on the face of Nick Nutter. He's willing to just go head to head, face to face. Give me what you got. Nice right uppercut slipping in there by Nutter. But punches just don't seem to do anything to Vovchankin. Oh, Vovchankin seeing almost an opportunity to get up, but Nutter rethought what he was doing, which was getting away, and came right back in.
Did you see the pool of blood on the midsection of Vovchankin from the nose of Nutter?
Yeah, look at it.
Look at that right there. It's just flowing out of his face.
Yeah, Nutter took some big shots. He's starting to feel the pain. Nick Nutter not wanting to give Vovchankin too much time to rest. I would not want to let this guy try and recoup, because he will, and he does. Nutter's got to stay with it. He's got to keep pounding. He's got to keep hammering. The longer it goes, I'd have to give it to Vovchankin.
Well, the tide seems to be turning a little bit. Nutter is just, blood is flowing out of his nose. I got to believe it's broken.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You can see it's pouring out of there. You can almost see the close-up on the, there. His nose is nice and bent. He took some good shots.
My goodness.
And that's one of the worst things in a fight, is to break your nose. It blurs your vision. You get a nice headache, and it depends on really how straight of a punch it was, that it pushes the bone back into your brain if you're not careful.
Lovely.
Isn't that charming?
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right now, I think the bone is still there. I don't think it's in his brain yet, but
it's a very dangerous
boy,
place.
You're right. You're exactly right, and that is a very tough injury, because what happens, especially when you break your nose.
Oh, big right hands by
This
Nutter.
might be the last story. Look at
Johnson gets right back to his feet. I don't want any more of this. I'm up. I'm ready to go.
This place is going nuts.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Vovchanchyn finally getting back on his feet after the onslaught.
The problem Nutter may face is breathing. It's hard to breathe when you have a broken nose. It's just, you're not getting any air passage through there. Nutter going to try and take him down again.
Oh,
he takes
nice
the right
shots by Vovchanchyn.
Boom, and a great double leg takedown by Nutter.
Nothing anyone, hear me people, anyone can do against a quality wrestler like Nick Nutter, who wants to put you on your back. He pulled him and he threw him to the ground like a piece of cake. He had to do that. He did it. Now he's back in his comfort zone. He did eat some big punches, though, coming in.
He sure did. Nutter taking some short shots to the back of the head.
Yeah, anybody expect an experienced wrestler who trains to avoid that when you have a guy who's a college champion, an Olympic potential fighter in the next couple of years here. They're going to get you on your back. You have to drill him. You have to catch him coming in. He caught him, but not quite good enough.
You know, good move is for anybody charging like that, I would think would be a knee or an uppercut or something like that.
Exactly.
Haven't seen that from Vovchanchyn, but nothing would surprise me, trust me.
Well, what he did there is he came in very high, surprisingly. Normally, they'll shoot low for the hips or below. He obviously may be thinking about catching a knee, decided I'm going to go high, which was very risky, and that's why he ate the big left and right. Then when he closed the distance, then he swooped him off his feet.
Right now, though, Igor Vovchanchyn throwing punches to the back of the head as Nutter tries to counter with the headbutt.
Yeah, starting to really pick up the pace is Igor Vovchanchyn, and hitting surprisingly like with his left thumb. I mean, he's really not being able to hit with the knuckles like he wants to. That's how hard this guy's hands are. Look at him. He's hitting him on the ear, on the side of the face. Now he's coming back on the other side with headbutts. He's starting to pick it up here. Vovchanchyn clearly the more active right now.
Yeah, he is. He's gotten another win somewhere.
What a change of tide.
Nutter is breathing very hard, and again through his mouth, because that nose is closed up on him based on it being broken earlier in this fight. Though he tries a headbutt there, but to no avail.
Yeah, the blood will drop when you break your nose. It's coming from the front, but it's also coming down through your mouth and dropping in there. It makes it very difficult to breathe, and doesn't taste too great either.
Unless you're a vampire. No
Like,
vampires here tonight.
I don't know. Vovchanchyn seems to be eating that blood up. I don't know where the blood is out of him.
Oh, I know. He just literally quit bleeding.
Look at yeah, he really did. Look at the punches that are coming from Nutter versus what's coming out of Vovchanchyn. Vovchanchyn, you can look at it in his face. He's throwing into those punches. As you saw, Nutter's kind of pace is just kind of slapping off the back of the side of the head. Nice headbutt, right in the face. Nice. Very nice moves there by Vovchanchyn.
Nutter just sitting there taking it.
Yeah,
trying to counter.
Yeah, they're not devastating punches, but they will build. And especially right on the ear like that, that's a very powerful place to hurt someone. You'll see him start to cover, see him start to put that shoulder in to protect that ear. Very smart move. Boxers will do that, and kickboxers, to keep that shoulder up covering the side of your face.
Almost comical looking here as they both try and punch each other with short distance. But there's nothing funny about what they're doing.
No, not at all. Not at all. And both actually very dangerous spots. You can see Vovchanchyn turning his fist over and hitting to the back of the neck. A very dangerous spot actually to be hitting.
And those blows are heavy.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he's on his back, he's such a strong puncher that they're going to take their toll. Nutter has got to try and stay away from that attack.
Yeah, he was only getting about 4 to 6 inches on those punches, but when you're as strong as Vovchanchyn, it's amazing what you can do with that. Trying to go up and under. Now back to the left.
A very impressive thing about Igor is the fact that he comes from so many areas. He punches you on the neck, he'll punch you in the head, the side of the face, he'll uppercut you. He's just got a great repertoire of punches.
And now he's trying to go back up and over. Now he'll hold with the left hand. Take a little breather, try to stop Nutter from the headbutts. Now he's going back to the open hand. He'll use that palm. Palm actually a very nice place to punch with. It's actually better. They don't break as easy. You'll see that in a lot of the Japanese fights. They do only open hand punching. In fact, one of the best fighters, possibly the best fighter in the world today, Bas Rutten, who is famous fighting over in Japan in an organization called the Pancrase, that's how they do it. They punch only open-handed. Very powerful striking that way. You don't break the knuckles that way.
You see an awful lot of broken hands in this sport. I've seen it many, many times. Actually, at least one here tonight.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nutter has broken one of his hands too. He still seems to be hitting to the side. He hasn't done anything with that left hand in quite a while. So maybe that could be damage. Oh, there's a just when you speak, he throws a short left.
Short left.
Just to let him know, I'm thinking about you, Igor. I'm thinking about you, buddy.
A guy in that uniform's your escort out of here, Greg.
Yeah, we're going to need him.
Yeah. Especially if Nutter wins. A very pro Igor Vovchanchyn crowd here.
Yeah, coming into this fight for the finals, you and I were talking at the break how we thought Nutter would have to kill him. We didn't think Vovchanchyn would have anything left, and it's unbelievable what we're seeing. This is a very even match at this point.
Yeah, and really past the 20-minute mark. He's fought enough in one day, Igor Vovchanchyn, probably to cover himself for the next year and a half.
Yeah, he really has.
All right, there's Nutter trying to make something happen, and yet all he's doing is getting knots on the back of his head. Igor now making a move. This crowd's starting to come alive again.
Where does this guy get it from?
I have no idea.
Nutter just can't believe it himself, just saying, what do I do to finish this guy? He had his chance early on with those knees, and once Vovchanchyn got through those knees and was able to get back on his feet, since they came back down to the ground, the whole tempo of the fight changed. Nutter still in the controlling position, still controlling where they fight. Look at that face of Vovchanchyn. But he's okay, look at him. He's looking around.
It's like, okay.
Looking around, I'm coming back, I'm okay.
The only reason his expression has changed is because of the swelling. His demeanor hasn't, nothing else has changed about him. He is breathing heavily through his mouth, as you would suspect after this, and he continues to lay that fist on the face and the ear and the back of the head of Nick Nutter.
Nothing seems to really affect Vovchanchyn. Even when Nutter throws those heads, that headbutt back up into his face, he just looks away. All right, boom, okay. I look away, and then I come back punching again.
Gosh, about 15 minutes ago, it looked like he may be out of this, taking so many knees, and he weathered that vicious assault by Nick Nutter, and now he just seems to be in control.
And he's hitting with that thumb. That's what I just don't even understand, how he's able to do that without hurting those hands. Look at his hands. Those hands, you can see they're just tough, strong hands. They don't even look
his
damaged.
Wrists are huge.
Real big legs and real strong hands and arms. It was amazing to watch this guy work the bag. Just saw the bag, I heard the bag screaming help. The dents that he was putting in it from his kicks and punches was absolutely devastating.
Comes underneath with a headbutt.
Oh, nice. Again, watching this guy fight is nothing that they could really teach you in any school, whether it be.
Nick Nutter has tapped out.
That's it, people. Oh my God.
I cannot believe what I've just
Nice
seen.
little roll there.
I
Bob
can't believe
Johnson.
what oh, and he kicks up.
He's still got enough left to do just that. The fans are going crazy. Nutter is so disappointed with himself, just completely ran out of juice.